Speaking Part 1. Do you enjoy learning about the past? Yes, I do. I find it fascinating to learn about ancient times and how people lived back then. For example, I enjoy visiting monuments or old structures, like castles, to understand how life was different for earlier generations. Is there a special day from the past that your family celebrates? Yes, we always celebrate my grandparents' wedding anniversary. It's a special day for our family, and we come together to remember their love and stories from the past. It's a way to observe and cherish our family traditions. 3. What do you remember most about your childhood? I remember playing outside with my friends, often barefoot, especially during the summer. Life was much simpler then, and we had a lot of fun doing basic activities, like running around in the fields or climbing trees. 4. Have you ever visited a historical place? Yes, I visited a magnificent castle last year. It was full of history and had deep-rooted connections to the country's past. Walking through the halls and seeing how people lived long ago was an unforgettable experience. 5. Do you think it's important to learn about history? Yes, I think it's very important. Learning about history helps us recognize the mistakes of the past and avoid them. It also helps promote understanding and respect for different cultures and traditions. 6. How do you think people communicated in the past? In the past, people mostly talked face-to-face or sent letters. They didn't have the complex technology we use today. I think the communal way of life helped people stay more connected back then. Speaking Part 2. Describe a historical building you have been to. You should say what the building is, where it is located, what it looks like, and explain why you visited it. Answer. One historical building I have been to is the Red Fort in Delhi, India. It is a famous landmark and an important part of Indian history. The Red Fort is located in the center of Delhi and was built during the Mughal era. It is made of red sandstone, which gives it a unique and striking appearance. The walls are tall and strong, and the design includes many beautiful arches and carvings. Inside the fort, there are gardens, old buildings, and magnificent halls where rulers used to hold meetings. I visited the Red Fort during a school trip because we were learning about Indian history. It was amazing to see such an ancient and well-preserved building. Our guide explained how it was used by the Mughal emperors and how it later became a symbol of independence for India. What I liked most about the Red Fort was how it made me feel connected to the past. Walking through the old rooms and looking at the structures, I could imagine what life was like hundreds of years ago. The fort is also very big, so it took us a long time to explore, but it was worth it. In conclusion, visiting the Red Fort was a wonderful experience. It taught me a lot about history and made me appreciate the skills and creativity of the people who built it.
National Park, Lan's Journey to the Past and Future. Lan was a 15-year-old student who lived in a quiet village. One day, her school organized a trip to visit several historic buildings and historic monuments in a nearby province. Lan was excited. She wanted to learn more about her culture and history. When they arrived, she saw a beautiful, well-preserved temple on top of a hill. It had red doors, stone lions, and sweeping vistas all around it. Lan stood still. "This is a breathtaking view," she whispered. Her friend laughed and said, "Much better than the dull view from our classroom." The guide told them about the ancient temple. It has many hidden chambers and secret passages. These were used in the past to hide important things and people. Lan listened carefully. She wanted to be aware of everything around her. She loved history and wanted to preserve the cultural heritage of her country. She learned how people worship ancestors during special days of the lunar month, often preparing sticky rice and fruit. "This is a deep-rooted tradition," the guide said, "and also a deep-rooted custom." Lan thought of her grandmother, who always cooked sticky rice and told stories of the past. The students were even allowed to walk barefoot into one ancient house to observe local customs and traditions. "This helps us understand our culture better," Lan said. "It's important to follow traditions and customs and keep them alive." They also visited a museum that displayed items handed down from one generation to the next, like books, dresses, tools, and photos. One corner showed a conventional dress worn during wedding ceremony celebrations. "My aunt wore something just like that," Lan smiled. In another room, Lan read about how the king used to send troops to protect the land and occupy the border. They had to fight to protect the border and keep our country safe, said her teacher. At the end of the day, Lan felt thankful. We must promote the preservation of our culture and history, she told her classmates. It helps us know who we are. When they returned to school, Lan was surprised to be called to the front. Her teacher said, Lan has shown great dedication and interest in history. For her outstanding performance on the trip, we award her a certificate. She received a certificate of recognition with her name on it. Everyone clapped. Later that evening, Lan told her parents, one day, I want to have an occupation as a teacher. I want to inspire young minds to love our culture and past. Her parents smiled. That's a beautiful dream. You've already made a substantial contribution to charity last month by helping at the museum. You care deeply. Lan agreed. I also believe in the promotion of relationships between people of all ages. When we gather together, talk, share food, or even get a takeaway, we grow closer. That night, Lan sat near the window, thinking. She looked again at her certificate, the stars in the sky, and the quiet hills. She made a promise to herself to learn more, to